Thank you for joining and welcome to the Curriculum and Instructional Resource Request Form for the 2024-2025 webinar and tutorial. We have provided a tiny URL so that you may access this presentation when you need to reference it for future use. We will begin by exploring why we utilize this process and this form. We use this form in order to be good stewards of our financial resources, to avoid duplicating instructional resources already available in CCS, to avoid supplanting Title I funds, to support our teachers and our schools in gaining access to requested or desired resources, and to ensure we are following Board Policy 3200 with regard to purchasing instructional resources and the vetting of those potential resources. One of the first questions I always receive is, when should I complete this form and what resources require a submission? Prior to completing the form, ask yourself a few guiding questions when considering purchasing a resource. Is the resource being used with students for instructional, remediation, or acceleration purposes? Will students access the resource online? Does the resource provide text, images, videos, or other aspects students will read, engage with, or solve? Does CCS already provide a similar resource in the curriculum? And is this resource aligned with the Science of Reading, the North Carolina Standard Course of Study, the CCS curriculum, and other North Carolina or Cabarrus County Schools instructional initiatives? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you should submit a form. Supplemental resources that require a form include any online or printed tool that is student-facing and is used to provide students with instruction or instructional materials. These include primary, secondary, or tertiary source material, visual images, quizzes or other assessments, practice problems or worksheets, books, poetry, narratives, short stories, videos or movies or even movie clips, lessons or unit plans that go outside of the CCS curriculum, magazine or newspaper articles, news sources that are either print or video, remediation programs outside of what is purchased by CCS, such as IXL or Amplify, resources that support early literacy, such as UFly or Decodables, AI software such as Magic School or School AI, additional purchases of CCS vetted text sets or read aloud texts. Any exceptional children or multilingual learners support subscriptions or texts such as Lakeshore Learning, curriculum or resources to support SEL, lab equipment for science or STEM classes such as chemistry sets or blood analysis kits, handwriting materials such as workbooks or primers, specialty curriculums for gardening or other electives, subscriptions such as Scholastic, Newsela, or other databases, tech support or online textbooks for elective courses, AP, IB, or STEM courses, and sheet music or song lyrics. There are many materials or resources that do not require a form. These include requests for classroom supplies such as markers, colored pencils, chart paper, scissors, Post-it notes, pencils, glue or glue sticks, anything required for day-to-day work, batteries or Kleenex or paper towels, supplies used in classrooms to support lesson plans, such as spaghetti noodles, patty paper, cotton balls, marshmallows, dice, playing cards, poker chips or counting chips used as a math manipulative, lab materials for science or STEM classes, such as goggles, beakers, pipettes, test tubes, classroom supplies such as music stands, instruments, alternative seating options, rugs, art supplies such as paints or pastels, brushes or canvases, and any resource that is not already on the district provisioned list. So how do I complete this form? What steps are required to complete the form? And what happens after I hit submit? Before you submit, you should take two steps. The first is to review the district provisioned instructional resource list in order to determine if this resource is already provided by the district and or to determine if there's a similar resource already provided by the district. If a resource is available and you do not know how to access it, please contact Leanne Havley in CNI or Meredith Bates in Technology. Resources include Canvas, iReady, or Delta Math. The second step is to vet with your SIT or leadership team, or PLC, the desired resource according to Board Policy 3200. We vet all of our resources in order to ensure that they are aligned to the North Carolina Standard Course of Study and the CCS curriculum, that they are age appropriate, and that they are a quality resource that engages students in instruction. We have provided a CCS resource vetting rubric that is a good resource for guidance on vetting potential resources. Any unvetted resources will not be approved for purchase. All schools must complete a Google form prior to making any curriculum and instruction purchase. This form should be completed by an administrator or a designee. It should not be completed by your treasurer. This form will send a mail merge PDF to the person completing the form and Leanne Havley for review. On the submission form, you will be asked the following questions. You will provide your CCS registered email address and the school requesting the resource, the name of the vendor and the vendor number for finance if you have it or know it, a brief description of the resource being requested. If requesting replacement text or new text, you will be asked to provide the titles and the authors, the funding source you wish to use, a brief rationale for the request, in other words, why are you requesting this resource, an explanation of how this aligns with your current SIT goals and the CCS core tenets. You will be asked if this resource was vetted per policy 3200 and when, and you will be asked if this resource is duplicating an already provided or purchased CCS resource. And if the answer is yes, you will be asked to let us know what resource is being duplicated. After you have submitted the form, a mail merge PDF document will be sent to Leanne Havley and to the person who submitted the form. This is not an approval of the resource. Please allow us 48 hours for review. You will know your resource has been approved when you receive this following mail merge document. If you are requesting to use Title I funds, please work with Amy Cummings to ensure those funds can be used for this resource. Once your request is approved, your next steps will be to work with your treasurer to submit the request to finance. The approval document you received should be added to the document cabinet with the purchase order. If you have questions, reach out to Leanne Havley in Curriculum and Instruction. If you are submitting a tech request, you will have to work with your ITF to enter the product into the Learn platform and into IIQ. You may also view the communication on bulk purchases and these processes at this link. If you have questions about technology purchases, please contact Lauren Campbell or Meredith Bates. If you find your request has been delayed, there may be a few reasons why that occurred. We will never deny a request for instructional resources without reaching out to the requester and the administration at the school. All requests are subject to discussion, and this discussion helps us better understand the needs and wants of our schools. Some requests may require further vetting or explanation. In that event, a member of CNI will contact the administration to open discussion about the requested resource. Thank you for your support of this process. If you have any questions or need further assistance, please contact Leanne Havley in the Curriculum and Instruction Department. My email and phone number are below.